everyone, and welcome back to my Senate prediction videos. Now that all the Senate races across the country have been called and the winners and losers have been determined, it's time to take a look back and see how I did. There were 35 Senate races this year, and of those races, I called 32 of them correctly, 3 of them incorrectly. Where did I miss? Well, one of the states that I missed in was the state of Maine. I predicted that Sarah Gideon would be elected. Senator Susan Collins won election to a 5th term in the Senate. Congratulations, Senator Collins. In the state of Iowa, I predicted that Senator Joni Ernst would lose re-election to Teresa Greenfield. Senator Ernst won election to a 2nd term. Congratulations to Senator Ernst. And in the state of North Carolina, I predicted that Cal Cunningham would defeat Tom Tillis. Tom Tillis won election to a 2nd term. Congratulations to Senator Tillis. Now, granted, some of these were high-profile races that I missed, but also some of them were races that everyone thought was going to go one way or another. Senator Susan Collins had been the presumed loser for a long time, but she soared to election on election night and was reelected to a 2nd term. A 5th term. Senator Joni Ernst had a bad debate performance, bounced back, and surged to victory on election night. And Senator Tom Tillis proved that sex scandals do matter. He had been down in the polls the entire race, and in the closing days it looks like that a scandal on the part of his opponent did matter to voters, and he was elected to a 2nd term. Well, what does this say? I don't know. Maybe that my political thinking sometimes is on point and sometimes it's not, because I remember saying during the Cunningham scandal that I didn't think that the sex scandal would matter much and that he would still win. Well, obviously that was not the case. I also thought that Senator Joni Ernst's horrible debate performance would do her in. It seems not to have mattered. And in the case of Susan Collins, it seems that voters who had trusted her in the past came home back to Senator Collins. So, all in all, I think a pretty good night of predictions. And overall, I'm very proud of my picks. Now, some of them were a lot closer than I thought, and some of them were blowouts like I thought they would be. Especially in Kentucky, I remember saying that I thought that Mitch McConnell would win a very convincing election. And he did. And in the end, Lindsey Graham prevailed easily over his opponent, Jamie Harrison. So, all in all, I believe a good night of picks. Of course, there were also the no-brainers. Bill Hagerty won in Tennessee, and Cynthia Lummis won in Wyoming. But Senator Warner won in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and Senator Reed won in Rhode Island. So all in all, some of these were easy picks, some of them were harder. But all in all, I think a good night of picks. We'll go over some of my house picks tomorrow. I never covered those with y'all, but I'll give you a sneak peek behind the curtain. I'll see you then. Oh, and by the way, I called the 2 runoffs in Georgia. Don't forget that. And as we get closer to the Georgia runoffs, I will do a video on how I think the runoffs will end.